Hey, Kurt. It's good to be back doing another midweek update with
It
you.
sure is.
You can't get enough of these.
They come around every week.
That's right. And we wanted to look back just a little bit towards last week. It was a special Sunday, not without some hiccups, but I think a successful process in calling a new pastor.
Yeah, I felt really good about the way it all turned out. I was a little uncertain when we were in the midst of it. I said somebody, it's a bit like building the airplane while you're flying it. Because we had this idea, we had this plan of how we were going to use Zoom and how that was going to work. And then Zoom basically crashed uh, all the church services everywhere, um, at that time. But being able to move from what we had planned to a new approach seemed to work pretty well. People were patient. People got transferred from one platform to another. So that was really good. And it was just interesting for Amy to watch us as she stood there in the sanctuary and watched us make our adjustments. She just marveled at kind of how we worked together and figured it out. And people were really, all leaned in and she was just really impressed with that. But then we also were um, heartened to see kind of just her presence in the middle of that. It's tough. It's tough. It's hard to answer questions anyway. I mean, you and I have both done that coming to this congregation. This is not an easy crowd.
Yeah.
They have some pointed questions, but when you're doing that, like by talking into the camera and not actually engaging with people, seeing the person's face who's asking the question, boy, that's a challenge. And she just handled it wonderfully. And I think it was a good confirmation that kind of her spirit, her abilities, her intellect, her groundedness, all those things are a good match for us. So I was really, really pleased with the way things went. And then when we had the vote, that we had such a strong vote, a unanimous vote for calling, a really strong vote for the compensation package. And then she emailed you and I the next day and talked about how good she felt about all of that at the same time as she's working through the process of letting her current congregation know, and just all that transition stuff is difficult. But I guess I could share that she's starting to look about moving to North Manchester, looking at houses, trying to figure that out. She's looking toward a start date at the end of June, beginning of July. So that's not too terribly far off. Our PMPC and fellowship commissions have talked about kind of putting together a welcoming committee, a kind of group to sort of help her feel welcomed into the congregation and the community. And then, of course, we'll have to talk and share information about how that transition will actually work. It's going to be different, right? It's like when you came, you met with groups of people in their homes.
Yeah. Yeah, the team was really good about asking what do you need. They didn't necessarily have a lot of things planned, but I just talked with some of the people from the team this week asking feedback for what they thought they did well. And I said, I think one of the best things that you can do is just create a team to start thinking intentionally about it. And they've already done that. So having that is a big step, I think, in the direction of making sure that us as a congregation, as opposed to a few families made us feel really welcome. I'm sure people would do that, but what I really appreciated was the congregational welcome, the gifts that we received congregation wide was really impactful for us.
So we have some experience, some fairly recent experience of how to welcome someone.
Yeah.
Um, but the difference is in this time, it's not going to feel the same when it can't be, person to person. So we'll navigate all of that, but definitely looking forward to next steps and recognizing that we kind of, we have a plan and a timing and all of that. And that feels pretty good after a long a long search process and then delaying the call and all of that. So I feel really positive about that.
Yeah, and um, and grateful for the congregation's adaptability as well with us in that process. And as we've been adapting, uh, the Nurture Commission has come up with these weekly nudges for us as we
Right.
try to be together. And this week, I just wanted to share that as I've been doing the past few weeks. And that nudge is to be aware of things in nature that befriend you. And there's an extra nudge there if you want to take a picture of that moment, or just share on Facebook with others where you uh, you know came upon that this week, or how you experienced that nudge, or any of the past ones. They can spring up at any time. Not just the week that we provide them. So
So with the nature nurture nudge, are you are you asking me to take a current picture of the ducks and post that on the Facebook group so everybody can see how much they're growing and how they're doing?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was thinking you were going to comment about how we're just adding to the alliteration each week. Yeah,
The new nature nurture nudge.
that's
Right.
right.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
All right. So looking a little further out, we'll talk a little bit about Pentecost 2 Sundays from now.
Yes. Just wanted to alert you as you're going to see some more things coming out about this, but we want to invite you to send in pictures or short video clips, much like you did for Palm Sunday with your hands, except this week we want for that week, that'll be the 31st, I think,
Right.
for that Sunday. We want you to send us things that have expressions of the color red. So that could be you and other family members all wearing the color red, or it could be a different expression in nature, or something that that is just
You
around the
you
theme of.
driving your red sports car,
That's right.
Seth?
Right, a picture of, yeah. Well, there'll already be plenty of that in there. Yeah, yeah. So
Something
just
red anyway, with
something.
people in it, right? And
We want to
natural
see.
kinds of things, nature, people, that sort of thing.
That's right. That's right.
Good.
Yep. And then as we move into thinking about this week, um, you want me to share the song first, and then the thought?
Yeah, in a moment. But first, I just want to say we are, like I said a week or two ago, we are transitioning. We're back in the sanctuary. Everybody knows that. But we're also this Sunday for the first time adding in a worship leader and a children's story person. So there's going to be, a couple more faces week to week, different people in the space contributing to worship. So I wanted to mention that. That's kind of another step in our worship transition. We're still in First Peter this Sunday, and then of course the next Sunday Pentecost will be in a different scripture, but still in the theme of First Peter talks a lot about suffering and our integrity in the midst of that, and keeping companionship with Christ and that kind of thing. So you're gonna have a song for us, right?
Yeah. So I'm just going to offer this midweek reflection of this familiar hymn, where it's not new. We're not going to sing it on Sunday, but just as Kurt mentioned, as we continue in this theme in First Peter, there's also this sense of steadfastness, and that the Spirit is there walking alongside us, and we might experience that kind of comfort, that kind of release in a different way in these times when we're not able to gather physically. There is a place of quiet rest near to the heart of God, a place where sin cannot molest, near to the heart of God. Oh, blessed Redeemer, sent from the heart of God, hold us who wait before thee, near to the heart of God. There is a place of comfort sweet, near to the heart of God, a place where we our Savior meet, near to the heart of God. Oh, Jesus, blessed Redeemer, sent from the heart of God, hold us who wait before thee, near to the heart of God.
Oh, thank you so much. That was great. I've just been thinking a lot about uh, how, as things begin to open up, we find ourselves feeling impatient. You know, we want things to be normal or the way they were, and we just have some time yet before um, things will settle into whatever the new normal is. And so that invitation in that song, but also kind of an invitation that we can offer to each other is to be patient and to rest in God's peace. Um, this will all work itself out. We'll figure it out and we'll find our way. But I guess my last word for us in the midweek update, well, two words: patience and peace. That's what I hope for us and for the congregation. So we'll look towards Sunday and hope everybody is staying well. And yeah, thanks for being with us.
All right. Thanks, Kurt.
Yep.